This is a mobility sequence for when you are sore or tired. Maybe you did a big workout yesterday or the day before, maybe you've had a big week at work, maybe you have a chronic illness. For whatever reason that you are feeling sore or tired, this is the mobility sequence for you. We're going to take all your joints through their ranges of motion. You will only need a chair or the floor. There will be no standing. And it's a gentle way to kind of get everything moving, getting the blood flowing without getting too hectic or just doing anything that you probably don't feel capable of today. So you will need a chair, like I said, and a comfortable floor to lie on. I obviously have a mat on the wooden floor here, but if you have carpet at home, that will be fine. And instead of a chair, you can sit on the edge of your bed or the edge of your couch. Maybe grab a cup of tea or something stronger if that's what you need, and let's get into it. So we're going to start with our cervical spine, our neck, and work our way down. But one thing that I want to cover before we get into it is sensations that you might feel. Obviously, if you're feeling a bit sore, muscles might be a bit tender, that's okay. But if you feel any sharp or traveling pain, especially on the closing side of the joint, so kind of the angle that's getting smaller when we move through these things, please don't work into that. You can make the circle a little bit smaller or kind of work around that particular pinch point or area, but don't work through it. Obviously, like I said, if the muscles are a bit sore, we're getting them moving, and I'm not really worried about sensations in your muscles versus in your joints. From here, you're going to start to drop your chin to your chest and then scrape your chin along your collarbone to the left-hand side. Try and keep the body nice and solid here as you start to tip the ear back. And you're taking your chin up and around, finding the biggest circle that you can with nothing else coming along for the ride. So you're not moving the shoulders, you're moving nice and slowly and controlled as you come over to the right and all the way back down. Keep going in that same direction, scrape over to the left, drop the ear back, take the chin up and around. Don't let the rib cage or the spine change positions as you bring it all the way over. And then bring the chin back to the starting point. And then reversing directions, so scrape the chin over to the right, look as far right as you can, start to drop it back, taking it all the way around, and around, and down. Nice. From here, shuffle to the front of whatever you're sitting on, and you're going to cross your arms across your body, and you can hold on to the arms or to the shoulders. From here, fold forward as much as you can. Don't let your hips slide forwards or backwards. And then start to twist over to your left. From here, keep both sit bones glued to the chair as you tip over to the left. And then start extending through your spine. So you're trying to grow tall, but also take it back at the same time, lifting the sternum towards the ceiling as you take it over to the right, side bend here, and then pull the elbows back to the starting position. One more in that direction. Think like everything from your hips down is just glued in place. You are a statue and you're only moving through your spine here, over to the right, and back to the starting position. And then reverse directions. So keep the feet planted, twist to the right, side bend, keep those hips glued to the chair as you climb up your spine, all the way over, side bend to the left, pull the elbows back to the start point, and one last time. So moving nice and slow, nice and controlled, and trying to keep the same pace all the way through. We have a tendency to rush through the areas we can't control as much. So I'd almost like you to slow down a little bit more there. Nice, coming back to center. relax. From here, bring the knees together. Your left hand is going to stay on your left knee. Your right arm is going to come between your knees, palm face up, so you start to find some external rotation of the shoulder. From here, start to bring the arm across and overhead, taking the thumb behind you into shoulder flexion. Pause here. Notice if your ribs have to pop or your back has to arch to take the arm overhead. That means you don't own that position. So I want you to pull the ribs in and only take your arm as high as you can without anything coming along for the ride or anything compensating. And then from there, start to turn the bicep away from you. Try not to hitch the shoulder or tilt over to the side as you reach as far behind you as you can. Keep spiraling like I am. So eventually, when you come down, the knuckles are facing you, and then start to reverse out of it. Take the arm as high as you can without the shoulder dropping forward. Keep the elbow nice and straight as you unwind. Bring it up and over, and then into that external rotation again, palm faces up. You can tap the backs of the hands together, and then taking it up and over. Again, spiraling the bicep and the palm away from you. So we're coming into internal rotation of the shoulder. Rotate it as much as you can. Knuckles face you. And then reverse out. Start to unwind. So all of these articular rotations or circles that we're doing as you bring it up and over, switching sides, should feel like they're getting a lot deeper than your traditional kind of warm-up circle. So you should really be getting into kind of the deeper joint stuff, which is what we want. That is where your mobility is generated. Other side, left palm faces up. So finding as much external rotation as you can. Bring the hand across the body. Thumb starts to track overhead. Again, check here. Notice if you have to do this to get the arm overhead. That is not shoulder flexion that you own. Bring it back in. So again, maybe you're here, that is fine, and that is where you start your rotation. So spiraling that bicep away from you, keep finding more internal rotation. Try and keep the elbow straight, knuckles face you, and then reversing out, reach behind you, unwind, bring it up and over, and into external rotation. One last time. Taking it up, find that rotation, bring it all the way around. Notice if, as you take the arm behind you, you kind of twist the torso. Keep the chest facing forward as you come up and over, and bring it around and down. Nice. From here, arms are going to come straight down by your sides, and you can even tap them kind of against the sides of whatever you're leaning on. If you are sitting on your bed, they can be just against your legs. From here, you're going to elevate your shoulder blades. So lifting the shoulders towards the ears, and then squeeze them back and together. But notice if you shove the ribs forward to do that. I want you to keep your ribs in your spine exactly as you started. Squeeze the shoulder blades around your spine. Drop them down. And then feel the shoulder blades spread. One more time in that direction, lifting up. Squeeze them back. Slide them down. And bring them forward. And then reverse, squeeze them back, keep those ribs in. I know it's tough, especially if this is the first time you've done it. Lifting up, punching them forward, and sliding down. And last time, bring it back, and up, forward, and down. You can shake it out if you need to. From here, arms stay straight again. This time, I want you to keep like straight wrists, straight fingers, think judo chop or karate chop hands. And I want you to imagine the air is about 30% thicker. If you live in Auckland and it's humid, that will not be hard for you. From here, start to squeeze your forearms to your biceps, like you're doing a bicep curl. And then flip your hands over, but don't let the elbow creases move. So we're not doing this. flip them over, push it down through that thicker ear. And then flip the hands over again, squeeze up that heavy bicep curl. Flip the hands over, push it all the way down. And then reversing it, so back of the hands come up, find that bicep curl, flip the hands over, don't let the elbows move, bring it down. One last time, back of the hands come up, flip it over, back of the hands push down. Nice. From here, bend your elbows so you're at a right angle, and I want you to keep your forearms facing up the whole time. So again, maybe you warm up your wrists like this, and you can see that my forearms are moving, and that's just honestly a lot of elbow motion, not actually isolated into the wrist. So to isolate it, glue your elbows to your sides, keep those forearms up, and then start to bring your little fingers towards each other, and then send your fingers down, like you're trying to show me your palms, but again, pause. Notice what's happened to the forearms. If you've done this, reset, send the thumbs out, and then show me the back of your hands. One more in that direction, little fingers come in, send the fingers down, show me your palms, send it out, show me the back of your hands. You should feel the wrists and forearms working really hard here. Again, should be feeling a lot deeper than just a normal warm-up circle. And then send the thumbs out, fingers down, and pull yourself into reflection. Keep the fingers nice and straight here, so we're not doing this. One last time, send it out, and down, and up. Nice. Shake it out. So from here, we're going to come to lie down. So you can lose the chair. And then as you come to lie down, come to your left side to start with. From here, you can rest on your left arm. Right arm is out in front of you for stability. I want you to start to find some brace through your core and squeeze your glutes. So we're gonna get into our hips, but what I don't want to happen is as you come up, you're kind of flopping all over the place because you don't have any tension in the rest of your body. And then we're not gonna really get deep into that hip joint, which is what we want. So find some brace through your torso. Send some tension down your legs so you can even squeeze the thighs towards each other. Put some tension into your hands. And then from here, start to bring your top knee up towards your armpit. Start to open it out. Don't let your pelvis move, so you're not tipping backwards and open. Start to kick the foot behind you. And then bring the knee all the way around to match. Squeeze your glutes, especially in that top hip, and start to send the knee back behind you, but don't arch into your back. Spine stays exactly the same the whole way through this as you bring the knee up and around and back to the starting point. One last time. Knee to armpit, start to open the knee out and then kick the foot behind you. Take the knee back, don't let the spine change. Match the knees. And then squeeze the glutes as you send the knee back, up and around, bringing it as close to the chest as you can, back to the starting point. Other side. So, flipping over. Again, you can use the bottom arm as a headrest, top arm, it's like a little kickstand. Find that brace through your core, squeeze the glutes, tension through the arms and legs, and then start to bring that knee up. Start to open it out. Kick the foot behind you into internal rotation. Don't let the spine or the ribs change. Bring it all the way around. And then send it back. So you might feel a little wobbly or unstable here. That's totally fine. It happens. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And just try and brace against that as much as you can. Lifting it up. Keeping it back. Keep those glutes squeezed to stop arching into the back. And then reverse. Out. And around. And down. to match. Nice. From here we're going to come to sit up. So from here, bring your right arm under your right knee, so the foot is off the floor. Hold on to your left bicep, and then hold on to the top of your right knee. From here, you're going to flex the foot towards you, and just do a little experiment. See if you can bring the toes in, and send the toes out, and see that shin bone moving. Maybe you don't have a lot of motion, that's fine. But just kind of, so you know where we're going, we're trying to rotate from the knee. This time as you bring the toes in, start to extend up. Don't lock the knee out. Bring the toes in and pull them down. Nice. Toes in, extend up, toes out, bring it down. And then reverse, so keeping the toes out. Bring them in, don't let the knee move or the thigh move. Pull them down, toes out, extend up, toes in, bring it down. Nice. Switching sides, left arm under the left leg, so the foot is off the floor. I don't mind what happens with this extended leg. It can be here, it can be out to the side, whatever feels comfortable for you to work into this knee. Hold on to the right bicep, hold on to the top of the left knee. Flex the foot towards you, send the toes out. Start to extend up again, don't lock out the knee. Bring the toes in, draw it all the way down. One more time, toes out, extend up, toes in, draw it down. And then keeping the toes in, extend up, take it out. Don't let that thigh move. One last time, bring it in, extend up, toes out, draw it down. Nice. From here, switching back to the first side, right arm under the right leg, hold the left bicep. This time you're going to hold the shin. So we're getting into our ankles, and while you'll feel the muscles of your shin working, I don't want this with the shin moving all over the show, because that's actually mostly hip and not a lot of ankle. So strap on to that shin, flex the foot towards you, and then start to find some circles with your ankle. So the biggest circle that you can manage, but keep it slow and controlled. Notice the areas that you really want to kind of speed through, slow down through those ones. Like I said before, the things we can't control are the ones we generally try to speed through. And then reversing directions. Bring it all the way around. And up. Nice. Switching sides. So left arm under the left leg, strap onto the right bicep, hold on to the shin. Flex the foot towards you, and then toes come in. Point them down, toes out, and up. Again, only moving from the ankle, nothing else above the ankle moves. Bring it around. And then reverse directions. Sending it down and in. Keep it nice and slow, don't speed through these. All the way around. In. And up. From here, toes. You're probably about to pay a lot more attention to your toes than you ever have. And you can either be leaning forward like me, holding onto the legs, or you can lean back if that's more comfortable. You can even return to your chair, bed, whatever you are sitting on. From here, I want you to lift just your big toes. And try and get them to go straight up, not kind of across the line of your foot. Slowly lower down. And again, lift just the big toe. Slowly lower. This time, lift just the outer four toes. Don't let the arches collapse. So we're not letting the feet move, only the toes are moving. And lower. And again, lift. And lower. Lift all of your toes up. Drop just the big toes down. Bring them back. One last time. And bring them back. And then spread all your toes wide. So think as wide as you can. And drop from the little toe all the way back in. And one last time, lift, spread them wide, drop from the outer edge So from here, we're going to open up a little more through the hips and the shoulders. And you're going to start by coming to lie on your back, knees bent, soles of the feet on the mat, and then cross your right ankle over your left knee. Reach through for the back of the thigh or the front of the shin. If you've ever done this pose, figure 4, you'll be familiar with it. It's a pretty good glute stretch. But because mobility is never just stretching, and we want to find some strength as well, I'm going to get you to find the stretch first. Take a couple of slow, deep breaths for me. And then from here, start to put some pressure into your right foot, so this top foot here, but keep the knee as it is. So it's like you're trying to push the floor away as though you could rotate out of position, as though you could do this. But this other leg is stopping you from being able to do that. So you might feel some stuff in the outer hip fire up. Think 20% effort here. And then 40% trying to push that top foot into the top knee. Keep pushing for 3, 2, 1, and then try and lift your foot away from your knee. So you might feel that outer hip stuff working. So this time you're trying to get more rotation, you're trying to go deeper into the stretch. Think like you could lift this ankle away from the knee for 3, 2, 1. Relax into the stretch. Maybe you can go a little deeper into it. And as you come back to the stretch, let the breathing soften, let the face soften. And we're going to do that one more time. So again, starting with about 20% effort, trying to push your foot into your knee. And then 40%. Keep holding that 40% effort. For 3, 2, 1, and then find the reverse of that. Try and lift your foot off your knee, as though you could take yourself deeper into external rotation, deeper into the stretch. For 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax into the stretch again. If you've lost it, you can kind of scan to find the stretch. Give me 2 more rounds of breath here. And then gently release. Uncross the legs, come back to that starting position. And you can just notice by sort of rocking from side to side. Maybe this hip feels a bit looser. And then opposite side. Cross the left ankle over your right knee. Reach through either for the back of the thigh or the front of the shin. And find that stretch for me. Give me a few slow breaths. And then we're going to repeat the drill that we did on the other side. So take an inhale, and then 20% effort, trying to push this foot into the knee. Feel that stuff in the outer hip working. Maybe 40% effort here. Again, we're not going too strenuous. If you're already tired, you're already sore, we don't want to overtax you. Keep holding that effort for 3, 2, 1, and then try and lift the foot away from the knee as though you were trying to do this, but using the muscles of your legs to do it. Keep trying to lift off for 3, 2, 1. Relax into the stretch. Give me a couple of slow rounds of breath, soften the face. Find that stretch if you've lost it. And one last time, pushing the foot into the knee, 20% effort. And then 40%. Hold that 40%. Keep breathing for 3, 2, 1, and then try and lift the foot away from the knee. Feel that outer hip stuff working. Keep breathing. Keep trying to lift the foot for 3, 2, 1, and then relax back into it. Give me a couple of slow rounds of breath. Find the stretch again if you've lost it. And then gently release the hands, uncross the legs, coming back to the starting point. Again, you can just rock it out. And then from here, rolling over onto your belly. And you're going to bring your arms out like goalposts, so 90-degree-ish angles. If you're slightly up or you're slightly down, I don't really mind. From here, forehead comes to the mat. And then you're going to take an inhale. Make your hands into fists. Keep your elbows glued to the mat and try and lift your hands off. So you're using all that stuff in the back of the shoulders. And then slowly lower down. Take an inhale. This time, you're going to lift everything as high as you can. Squeeze the shoulder blades. And slowly lower down. So we have 2 more rounds, just like that. Take an inhale, keep the elbows down, lift the hands as high as you can. Don't let them shoot out kind of to the sides or closer to you. Slowly lower. And then lift, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And again, we're just moving through our ranges of motion. This doesn't have to be the highest you've ever got into shoulder abduction. And then lower. One last time. Elbows stay down. Lift the hands. Find that external rotation. Again, I want you to feel some of the work, but it's not max effort. Slowly lower. And last one. Lifting the whole forearm this time. Try and keep the elbow and the hand at the same height. Slowly lower. So that is mobility for when you're feeling sore or tired or both. I hope you are feeling better after moving through all your joints. Look after yourselves. I'll see you next time.